Hey guys, Asmodea here, and today I'm gonna introduce you to Legends of Runeterra. Legends of Runeterra is a collectible card game or CCG made by Riot Games, which released on April 30 in Southeast Asia. Like any other card game, you and your opponent each have a deck of cards, and you take turns playing cards with the ultimate goal of reducing your opponent's health to zero. However, Runeterra takes a few mechanics from different card games and introduces some new ones, which combined makes Runeterra pretty unique. First, let's take a look at the cards. There are two types, units and spells. Like any other card game, each unit has a mana cost, an attack, and health. Units can also have effects, and most effects are gonna be familiar if you've played Magic. You use units to attack and defend, and they'll stay on the board until they die. Most units in Runeterra are going to be followers, but the more interesting units are the champions from League of Legends. Champions can level up after meeting a certain condition, and when they do, they gain additional stats and effects. These effects are powerful, and most of the time you'll want to build your deck around them. When a champion is on board, copies of that champion in your hand become a spell, which when used will shuffle a copy of that champion into your deck. Spells, unlike units, do not stay on the board, but they have a myriad of effects when played, and they come in three different speeds. These are slow, fast, and burst. Slow spells can be played on your turn, and your opponent can respond to it by playing a fast or burst speed spell. In addition to playing it on your turn, fast spells can also be played during combat, and your opponent can respond with a fast or burst speed spell. Burst speed spells are like fast spells with the addition that your opponent cannot respond to it. Runeterra incorporates a spell stack system similar to Magic, wherein the latest spell resolves first. Every card belongs to a region, which is similar to colors in Magic. There are currently 7 regions in Runeterra: Demacia, Freljord, Ionia, Noxus, Piltover and Zon, Shadow Isles, and the recently added Bilgewater. Each region has its own theme. For example, Demacia has beefy units and lots of buffs, PNZ has discard effects, and Shadow Isles has sacrifice effects, to name a few. Now that you know what cards are, let's talk about how to obtain them. After playing the prologue, you can go to rewards and select a region. When you play, you gain experience for that region and unlock rewards. The cards you get from rewards will come from the region you are leveling up. You can also receive wild cards of different rarities, which are common, rare, epic, and champion. You can trade these for any card of the same rarity. You can also acquire shards, which you can use to craft cards. You can craft a common card for 100 shards, a rare card for 300, an epic for 1200, and a champion for 3000. There is also a vault which you level up as you play, and you can unlock it every Tuesday. The higher its level, the better the rewards. Now that you have the cards, let's talk about the deck. Similar to Magic, you can combine different regions, but you can't combine more than 2. There are 21 combinations of regions, and sometimes you can run only 1. Each deck contains 40 cards, and you can put at most 3 copies of any card, and at most 6 champions. Okay, let's jump into the gameplay, starting with the Mulligan. Runeterra takes the Mulligan system of Hearthstone, wherein you can mulligan specific cards and not your whole hand. Unlike Hearthstone though, there is no coin and both players start with 4 cards in their hand. Next up, the mana system. Similar to Hearthstone, each player starts with 1 colorless mana, and it increases every round up to a maximum of 10. However, unlike Hearthstone, both players gain mana at the same time. Also, something unique to Runeterra is the mana reserve. When you end the round with unspent mana, it goes into the mana reserve. You can store up to 3 mana, and it will be consumed when you use a spell. This allows you to cast a high-cost spell at an earlier round, provided you have saved up mana. Another unique mechanic in Runeterra is the attack token. A player can only attack when they have this token. At the start of the game, a player randomly receives the attack token, and after attacking, the token is consumed. After the round, the other player gets the token. This means one player is attacking during odd rounds, and the other is attacking during even rounds, and you should plan accordingly. Similar to Artifact, the rounds are interactive. At the start of a round, the player with the attack token takes the first turn. They can summon a unit, play a spell, attack, or pass. After doing an action, the other player takes a turn. The round ends when both players have no more actions or when both players pass. Finally, let's talk about the combat system. Hearthstone has attacker's advantage because you can choose the units you're going to attack and therefore make favorable trades. Magic has defender's advantage because the blocker chooses which units to defend against. The combat in Runeterra is a good mix of the two. Similar to Magic, you choose which units to defend against, but unlike Magic, there is no double block, and units don't regenerate health, kinda similar to Hearthstone. Okay, I will be walking you through a game using the starter deck Buff and Tough. So, this is the starting hand, I draw 4 cards, and you can choose which cards to mulligan away. So this, on round 1, my opponent has the attack token, and he plays a unit, I play one of my own. Now he can choose to attack, but it's gonna be unfavorable for him, since my unit will survive his. We also have emotes here. My opponent is taking a long time. He finally passes, and now it's round 2 and the attack token passed to me. I can summon a unit. And now it's my opponent's turn to act. Do note that I could have attacked first before summoning a unit, but I chose to summon a unit first, and then that allowed him to summon his own unit, and now I choose to attack.
I'll do my best.
I have a favorable attack here. I've got two 2/2s, and both of his units will die. Notice that creature is, there's some shiny things flowing around it. That unit is an elusive, which means it can only be blocked by other elusives. It is basically the equivalent of flying in Magic. So my opponent decides to block both of my units, and my other unit will survive because it has Tough, which means it takes 1 less damage from all sources. If you notice, there's also that Oracle's Eye, which tells how combat will play out. So now it's round 3 and my opponent has the attack token again. Take note that both players draw cards at the start of the round. So since my opponent does not have any units on the board, he cannot attack me right away. He's gonna have to play a unit first before attacking, in which case I can play a unit of my own to hopefully block.
Hey, Krabby!
Unfortunately, he played an elusive, and I can't block it because I don't have any elusive units. I choose to play the Poro. It has Overwhelm, which means if any excess damage it deals to the enemy Nexus. Okay, Jumpy is taking his time, trying to decide if he wants to attack or not. If it were me, I would have attacked because his unit is elusive and I can't really block it. I don't think he realized that. So it's my turn. I can choose to play a unit here or attack. I decide to attack first. Since he only has one blocker on the board, and it will die to both of my units. Also, when you attack first, the opponent can only really respond by casting a fast or burst speed spell. He doesn't take the block and I get in 5 damage. Now it's his turn again. He played a Scaled Snapper. It's a 5-2. Pretty aggressive stats, but I can easily kill it. And I play this Omen Hawk, buffing the top 2 units in my deck by +1/+1. So Jumpy is again taking his time. I'm just looking at the cards in my hand, and he finally passes. Now I have 3 mana left. I can still summon a unit. And again, it's my opponent's turn to act. He has 1 mana left, and he has 1 mana in reserve, which can only be used for spells. And yeah, he passes. It's now his turn. We both draw a card. His turn to act. He plays a Jinx.
Stands for Jinx?
Now that allows me to play a unit of my own to better block his units. I played the Mighty Poro, which was buffed by the Omen Hawk.
Let's move!
That's why it's now a 4/4, and he chooses to attack with 2 of his units. I can't block the 3-1 because it has elusive, but I can easily block the 5-2 with my
Smile! It's called gunplay!
I forgot the name of this card. Vanguard Defender. Right.
Protects me.
So he chooses to attack with his Jinx as well. I choose to block it. This is very favorable for me. This is why Runeterra has Defender's advantage. I can choose which units to block. Now he does cast a spell. Okay, and now I have a chance to respond because I have a burst speed spell, but it's not gonna affect the combat in any way, so I decide not to use it. And now I pass my turn. My opponent can do something, but he has 0 mana left, so maybe he has a card that costs 0 mana. Yeah, and he is gonna play it, I think. Okay, he played Thermogenic Beam. Unfortunately, that is a slow spell, but you need to spend all of your mana, and it deals damage equal to the amount of mana you spent. But he had 0 mana left, so it dealt no damage. Okay, now it is round 6, and I have the attack token again. I can choose to play a spell here, or summon a unit, or I could attack. I chose to summon the Alpha Wildclaw first because it has 7 attack, and it has Overwhelm, which means excess damage goes to the Nexus. I could have chosen to attack first, we call that open attacking, but I felt that the Alpha Wildclaw was going to make my attack a little bit better since it does have the 7 attack and it has Overwhelm. So even if he blocks it, if the unit has less than 7 health, excess damage will damage his Nexus. And Jumpy is gonna play a spell, I think. He does. Plays Get Excited, deals 3 damage to my Wildclaw, but it's not gonna be enough to kill it.
Everyone goes boom!
He did summon that thing. That hook is Challenger. Oh yeah, you can attack with all of your units by dragging them, but I chose to hold back my Omen Hawk because it's a 1-1. It's not really gonna do much. It can get easily blocked by this 0-2. He chooses to he chooses to block the Wildclaw with this 3-1. He's still deciding whether to block the others. Okay, that's very good because this Mighty Poro has Overwhelm. Also, I have Radiant Strike in hand. It's gonna buff up my Wildclaw into an 8-4, which won't die to this 3-1. Now he's down to 3 health. I am so in the lead. Now it's his turn. He only has a Jinx on board. Am I really gonna BM him? Okay, he played the Empyrean, a 6-5 elusive. Wow, 7 mana. That card is pretty slow, but it is elusive, so it's gonna be hard to block. But at 7 mana, I feel there are better cards that you can play for that mana cost. Now it's my turn. I don't actually have good plays here. I can't really block the 6-5. I did eventually play the Babbling Berg, and it draws me Garen.
All part of the plan, I just made up.
He attacks. I'm not sure why he's holding back the Empyrean here. Okay, so this is Jinx leveled up form. You can right click a card to see its associated cards.
Screaming helps not at all.
Okay,
I'll give you to the count of time's up!
Jinx levels up because he has no more cards in hand. And she gained +1/+1. He also attacked with the Empyrean, which I can't block because of elusive. Now it's my turn, and I'm still gonna win. Actually, no. I think I'm gonna cast this for the Masha to buff my units up. Yeah, it gives +3/+3 to allies for this round. I go ahead and cast it. to buff up my... I have 2 units with Overwhelm. So even if he blocks it, some damage is gonna go to the Nexus. Discard Redoubled Valor. It's a 6 mana card. It's slow. It fully heals an ally and doubles its attack and health. That's a very slow effect. Now he might cast a spell here. Now he's at 3 health, so I just need 3 damage. He casts Get Excited, which is not enough to kill the Poro. He does get a Super Mega Death Rocket. And basically, the opponent can't deal with this. He plays the Super Mega Death Rocket, deals damage to my Nexus. It has a sweet animation though. And it also damaged, it also dealt 1 damage to all my units. So yeah, I just attack with everything here. And he doesn't have enough unit to block. And I give him the good game.
Stay still! I'm trying
Yeah,
to
he
shoot
does
you.
attempt to block here, but whatever
You're
he
starting
does,
to bore me.
I'm gonna kill him. So yeah, okay. And yeah, we finished the game. Victory. The victory screen is awesome though. There you go guys, that is Runeterra. This game is available on mobile and PC, and if you're interested, I have the links in the description below. Thank you for watching, like if you've enjoyed this video, and subscribe for more Runeterra content. Once again, I'm Asmodea, signing out.